Hi, welcome to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and sorry for the little bit of wait, but it's going to be so much worth it. And so thanks for being here again, Passion for Life. And my passion is about sharing knowledge and helping people have a better integrity of life, and so that we can just live better and balanced and have that body, soul, and mind together so that we can just have the best life we can. So I have friends on that share their journeys, and I share my journeys. I always have something to say. And I have a couple of my friends today, and I can't wait to introduce them. And I have my co-host here today, Diane. And hi, Diane. How you doing?
Hi, Dee. I'm doing great.
Oh, I'm so glad. We had a
great
yeah, we
weekend.
did. We went out and hung out a little bit and shared some with some friends that are actually going to be on next week.
Right.
And
Now, we went to a party for
Yeah.
our friends. The movie's called Back in the Day, and it's coming out May 20th. And we had a party up in the Poconos, and Dee and I went up, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
She met a lot of people, and
Yeah.
we had a lot of fun.
yeah, we shared our passions. But it was really, really cool. And we're always here sharing our passions on Friday nights at 8 o'clock. And
And my passion is I'm a pet photographer. I love animals, and I also am an actor. And my love passion for people, and I'm also in the wellness.
Yeah.
So I have many, many passions.
Well, we're all about
But-
wellness. Well, it's wellness of the body, soul, mind, like we were talking. Now, I have two of my friends, and I have to say, my girl Cheryl, she came out, and I did last minute, and she was like, okay, within like 5 minutes. So thanks, Cheryl.
Welcome, Dee. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy you're here, and
Yes.
and you brought your
brought my
hubby.
hubby with me,
Yes,
yes,
and that's
Bruce.
amazing. So what I'm going to do is ask, because with your first time, well, first of all, I'm just going to say, how did we meet?
We met at a Zumba boat ride. We had a blast.
We certainly did.
I danced my heart out, and then I came to Dee's table, and I asked her, "Well, what's this all about? True age?" And I'm like, "What is that all about?" And Dee explained it to me, and kind of enlightened me as to what I was doing, some of the things that I was doing to help my body, and she made me feel 10 years younger, and the apparatus she has there made me feel 10 years younger. So it was a great experience,
it
and we've
was.
been kind of keeping
Keep
in
in
touch ever
contact,
since.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we chatted, and
Yeah.
I told her about my book, and she told me about her show, and that was back in, I think,
May.
September.
No, wasn't it?
It wasn't
was it
that long ago. It was like September,
Was
October,
it?
because it was
Okay.
cool
Okay.
outside.
Okay.
It was,
okay.
yeah, it was in
October,
the
yeah,
fall.
probably, yeah.
It was in the fall.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
great
yeah.
boat ride, and great to have met her and
Yeah,
kept in
yeah,
touch.
Yeah. So what's your passion for life?
Right now, my passion for life is writing.
Okay.
And I am a new author. I'm what they call an indie author.
Indie author.
And my book, African Venus, it took me about 5 or 6 years to finish it.
Okay.
And it's been a really great passion for me. And
Right.
I've been kind of rewarded by meeting a lot of nice, interesting people like yourself.
Okay.
For after I published the book. And also my passion is my business. My husband and I are in business together.
Right.
Very intense real estate management firm in the Yonkers, New York area.
Okay.
So it keeps us both very
Busy.
busy.
Yeah.
And plus we do some other things as well.
Right. Right.
Okay, we have Bruce. Now,
Lord.
Bruce, tell us a little bit about your passion.
Well, my passion is to really to serve God and to be able to help people in different ways and to work with young people and to encourage people to go in business and try to find where there are economic opportunities when you receive in the heart of the urban community with the unemployment of young men that are about 59%. So I am, as a businessman, I'm always looking at opportunities in which I can create a vehicle, if you will, that can help employ people and to encourage people and to be able to say to our youth that you are intelligent, you are smart, you are gifted, and God gave you a gift, and you need to search that gift, and you need to be able to apply that towards something that you want to do in your life.
That's
and try to
terrific.
encourage the significance and the importance of education so that they can become productive citizens of the society.
Yes, it's all about the education.
It's all about the
It really
education.
And
is.
that's
And that
where
is the civil
I
rights
started.
movement
yeah.
of us today,
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
quality education in the heart of our community.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
it's changed so much
Definitely.
over the years. I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
they've taken out art, they've taken out music, which were two of my
Mm-hmm.
favorite subjects, and and even physical education is
Yeah.
not is out of the school system, not
Yeah.
like it used to be.
No, without a doubt. Actually, I went to music and art high school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so back in the day, the Fame School, and I was an art major. I didn't like physical activities though, because I was overweight
Yes.
and I had challenges, and so I didn't feel comfortable to get into, let's say, shorts and run around because I just was not fit to do that, and my self-esteem and my when you're young like that and you are
still
not
developing.
like and all the kids out there they're doing and you can't do like they did,
Right.
so you helping kids to have that
Yes.
self-esteem
That's
is
right.
amazing.
We must
You
find
know?
ways to encourage them to build their self-esteem and help them be focused on what they want. The key word is
Right.
focus. You can
Right.
do whatever you want to do, but be focused on what you want to do and work
Right.
towards that particular goal.
A goal.
And whatever you want to do in life is to find people that are already in that particular profession and have the
Right.
expertise
Right.
and be able to speak with them and learn from them, encourage. So this way they will help guide you in the particular direction that you want to go into.
No, without a doubt.
That's really great.
Yeah.
My niece is at 2 years old, she started singing. She sings opera.
Okay.
And now she
Really?
sings with the Metropolitan Opera, and
All right.
she
That's
sings every Broadway
fantastic.
play. And she went to private school, so
All
she had
right.
the opportunity.
That's it.
But she was singing since she
it.
was young. But talking about helping children and humanity, this is another day, another subject we're going to have. The heroin. There's awareness.
Yes.
These kids are doing drugs,
That's
and
it.
for you to
That's
be
right.
doing what you're doing and getting these kids off the street,
Yeah.
this is what we need right now. And we're going to have a show on
Yeah.
the awareness of the heroin
Because
problems now.
this is a problem because we find so many often that people are looking for other vehicles and dealing with so many different situations, and some with this heroin epidemic. I mean, you have people that come from very fluent backgrounds because they have to, because they can afford to buy it.
Right, exactly.
And unfortunately, something is missing there,
Right.
and they're looking for some kind of way to deal with whatever dilemma or problems that they have, So
And
I
they
think
turn
that,
to
and
the
they
wrong
turn to,
thing.
and I think that it really is important for parents to really engage strong conversations with their children and to see what their children are doing, because we live
What
in a
they're
society
thinking.
today that people are working 2 or 3 jobs to try to sustain themselves, and they don't have that one-to-one contact like when it was years ago when we were coming up. There was
Yeah.
dinner time, and mom and dad were at the dinner table
Right,
with
right.
you as children,
Right.
and there was more of the
And they
family
asked about your
connection.
day.
But today, the parent, the father's working a different job or 2 different jobs, and they're communicating on the text, and the children are pretty much raising themselves
Yeah.
and getting into certain things that are not positive. So
That
we
is
need to
so
make
true,
sure that
yes.
there are positive role models and things that are going on and vehicles of opportunity that can make a difference in their lives.
Well, definitely having that strong foundation.
Yes, it makes a difference.
You have to have that
You
strong
have to have
foundation,
that
because
strong
I know
foundation.
that, okay, my family, I was actually raised in a broken family, so it was a little dysfunctional and what have you. And
Yes.
at 12 years old, my parents divorced. So, but I had the extended family of the grandparents,
Yes.
and they
thank God
made
for
sure, yes,
grandparents.
exactly,
Yes.
Yes.
and they made sure that we got to church and we
Yes.
got that strong foundation,
Oh, yes. It
so
makes
that
a
we were
difference.
able to just develop.
Yes.
And even if we did run astray,
Right.
you kind of
You
didn't
had
go
that.
but so far
Right.
because you knew what you needed to do so
Right.
that you can draw it back.
Right.
You
The
know.
question is trying to reach that young mind
Yes.
that did go astray.
Well,
How do we
exactly.
get that child back on the right track?
Well, you have
When
to
we have, and that takes
be that
when
mentor,
when the
yeah.
incarceration rate is
Yeah.
as high it is,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
poverty, because a lot of this affects the poverty that in the heart of our community.
Right.
But we are not really a poor community when we generate $1.1 trillion in the gross national product. It's how we spend our money.
Right.
So if we learn how to spend our money where it circulates in the heart of our community, then we can provide economic opportunities, and that begins to reduce the social ills that exist in the heart of the community, because you can provide jobs, people can go into business, and you can encourage everybody ways.
No, without a doubt. And I'm just laughing because Cheryl said once he gets out there, he's going to be okay.
I
You know,
will see. Yes.
But no, he's very, and so you're all going, I already see that the writing's on the wall. You're going
Right.
to have to come back out. Because I'm going to focus back over to
Yes,
Cheryl
yes.
a little bit. Because I know the book, and I did not get a chance to read the book, but I have so many friends that have
I
wrote some
understand.
dynamic books right now.
understand.
But because I'm in school and I got some other challenges, I'm definitely your book, and I have a few other friends that those are like the next books once I finish school to do. But at this point, I know that what inspired, well, the fact that you are into history and
Yes, I like art
Uh-huh.
and I like history.
Right,
African American history is
Uh-huh.
one of my also favorite topics. And the book came out of nowhere. I predicted when I was a teenager that I would write a book to my mother, my parents, and I kind of never really got back to it. But about 6 years ago, I went to a museum here in New York,
Okay.
and I saw an exhibit, a collection of bronze busts of different people. The name of the author, the artist rather, was Charles Cordier. He was a Frenchman.
Okay.
And back in the mid 1800s, a lot of people of European descent did not know what a Chinese person looked like, or what an African person looked like, or what a Middle Eastern person looked like.
Right.
And he was known as an ethnographic artist.
Oh, okay.
And so he made his life challenge, or one of his life goals, is to capture the beauty of all different races.
Okay.
And so he captured the beauty of Chinese people.
So he just did what?
He
is
did it in a bronze bust.
So he didn't. Did he also draw and paint?
He
and
wasn't
what
a
have you?
drawer.
Okay.
He basically captured their beauty in
The
this
bronze, like
um,
statue,
in a
like
bronze
his
statue.
Wow.
He was very prolific artist. He did a lot of different types of pieces. He worked in marble. He worked in different patinas or finishes on his work. And the African Venus was one of his most famous pieces.
Really?
And I saw that piece. I was walking through the exhibit. I dragged Bruce into Manhattan. He was, doing a little bit of a, why are we going and what are we doing again? And, when are we going to get there kind of thing. But once we got there, I walked through the exhibit and I saw a different sculptures. And I really didn't know that that particular statue was there.
Okay.
When I came across that statue, she kind of really stunned me. I was really kind of like, wow, the African Venus, I never heard of this. And I walked around the statue and Bruce was like, what's wrong with her? And I was like, I really kind of like, this is beautiful. And the caption on the piece was, she was a slave. She was sent to the island of Guadeloupe
Okay.
and eventually freed. And I said, that's not the whole story.
Yeah.
Where was this woman from?
So you actually went and did
Research.
research?
I started to
Oh,
research the
wow.
piece of. I wanted to find out her name. I wanted to find out what country she came from, but I never could find out where she was really originally from. So I had to create the story.
So you created your own story with.
I created a story, and I call her Nima.
Okay.
That's her name, and I put her in the country of Benin, which is in West Africa, and she has a very powerful father. And this person, King Guzo, was actually someone who lived back in that time. We're talking about 165 years ago.
Right.
And maybe the technician can run the little intro right now,
Right.
so you can hopefully get a picture of her face
Okay.
and see what this sculpture looks like.
Well, I find that amazing. So.
And the book is available on Amazon.com for people to purchase. It is in paperback form and it is in ebook form.
Okay.
So you can download it to your Nook or one of your readers or your iPhone.
Right. So you just created this story
I
on because she spoke to you basically.
She spoke to me,
Oh,
really.
wow.
That's right, Dee.
That's so
She did
cool.
speak to me. And I don't know, I mean, and it kept nagging me. I mean, I would stop, I mean, I would start to look around and see. I found out that the piece is here in New York at the Schomburg Library for
Okay.
Black History or Black
Right, I've been
culture
there, yeah.
in Harlem. And then I found out that it's at another museum in Baltimore, Maryland.
Really?
They have the full bust of her, and there's different versions of her. She has gold earrings on. There's about 35 different pieces of her in the world. So
And they're
she's
all
rare
her from his creation.
from his creation.
Gautier?
Cordier.
Now,
Charles Cordier.
Oh.
did
is
you
his
go
name.
through his history?
There's actually a
history.
book called Facing the Others that is a collection of his work. And it has a lot of his other pieces in there, but she is prominently displayed in the book. You know, you go to the middle of the book and you see her face,
Yeah.
you know. And so she really intrigued me. Since he was a Frenchman, he has written an autobiography, but I don't read French. So I wasn't able to really ever get my hands on his take. But I never really found out I know that he was a abolitionist back in those days. And so I really never found out who she was through his eyes.
Wow.
But I wanted to do a story through her eyes.
Well, you know, it's so funny because I just recently, about 2 weeks ago, went to Albany, and I met a couple of historians,
Excellent.
and we went on a Dutch connection of the slave
Okay.
trade from Amsterdam to New Amsterdam, which was in Albany. So we went to all these different places and the history of the Dutch and how the slave trade came through Albany. Because,
Wow.
okay, New York is supposed to have been a free state.
But it wasn't.
Technically, it wasn't.
It was not.
And so actually there's a young lady that is, I guess, getting her master's or has her master's, and she does tours in Albany.
Excellent.
And she does, actually, this was the Virgin tour in Albany, but in Amsterdam, she does tours.
Excellent.
Okay? So it was so amazing to be on this first time tour. We were number one.
Wow.
And it was just so much history. And we even went to where they had a farm where they had all the Native American history and the
Yes.
blacks and
Yes.
and the Dutch influence and what have you. It was
It's
really,
such a,
really cool.
you know, it's such a dynamic amount of interesting stories that are out
Yeah,
there
yeah.
that are just starting to be uncovered and revealed.
Yeah.
You know, as you know, I'm an amateur historian, but the information that I found out about what was going on at that time,
Right.
and how so many people were coming out of Africa
Right.
due to different conflicts. And I make her the daughter of this king, and I make him feel the pain
Right.
of losing someone that he loves
Right.
to slavery, not knowing where she is in the world, what has happened to her, anything.
Wow.
She's just gone. So you feel that pain because you contributed to the pain of other people having
Right.
that experience.
Right.
I think it's a really good story, and I think
Sounds very
there's
good.
an excerpt that your technician can run at this time. A few minutes of me speaking from the book.
Okay, cool.
Sitting on his throne, King Guzo could reflect on his imminent and complete domain. He could feel the power resonating from the skull heads of dead enemies that were at the base of the throne, and felt even more empowered by the patchwork made from elephant ivory. He was Samedo, master of the world. Everything was within his reach. He had the power to send armies into neighboring lands to capture slaves or to work his palm oil plantations and to use them as sacrificial victims in the annual customs ceremony. His being lands reach from the Atlantic Ocean in the south to all of Nigeria, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Togo, the famed Gold Coast of West Africa.
Well, that was truly interesting. I'm like, wow. we're going to have to read, as I said, I'm going to read the book. But we're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Horsehair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
What are you looking for? You don't even know that. Are you on the ball list? So you can't even answer. I'm asking you about it. You gotta be highly skilled. You understand that?
Are you sick?
Are you well versed there? Are you very smart man? Hit me with some funny shit.
My shit's twisted.
Tell me something. Tell me
What do
something.
you have right there?
That's awesome.
Well,
That's a big.
That's nice.
You know damn well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's
Sir, hey, are you interested or not?
yes, I am. See, you got twisted.
That's twisted. That's talent.
You see what I'm saying? You understand me? And if you can't whip out answers like that, that man is liable to during a commercial break punch your fucking mouth loose. You understand me? Time is up, sir. You understand me? You're on. You're the man. All right, give me your name now. I'm sorry.
My name is Willie.
Willie, where you working at?
We are twisted. We are awesome. Love it.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends. And I'm Dee, and I'm here with my friends, and we're just having a good conversation and sharing some amazing information. And I'm just really so happy that you're able to share.
I love the history of that
Yes.
book.
Yeah, I can't wait
Now
to
let me ask
read
you a
it.
question. Does the museum know, do you have your book in the museum?
I don't have my book in the museum
Museum.
yet. I self-published this book.
Okay.
So that's one of the ways in which you can start to build your name and your recognition. I wasn't so much into sending out letters to publishers. I wanted to. The story kept pushing me to complete it, and actually now having published, the book has been out since July of 2013. I'm starting to look at broadening the story.
And do boarding. Yeah, that
to
would
make
be
it a
great.
bigger story.
Wow, that's so
You could make
cool.
another book after
I
that.
can make another
book.
book
You should do some
or
book signing.
add to the
part
story.
two.
Right.
Where did you end the story at this?
I know
I
where she-
ended the story with her coming to the United States. She's actually living in around 1866. She's living in New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
She's a free woman.
Okay.
And the story, I want to continue the story because she has descendants and what her descendants do.
Right, right.
You know, they do some dynamic things, but
Right.
somewhere along the line, the story kind of gets lost, and they have to be brought back to the
Right,
history.
right,
Right.
And that's kind of typical of a lot of African Americans. We
Yeah.
don't know all of that history, and we need to reconnect with it.
I know, it's true.
So book
So
two would
very
be
true.
great.
Book two would
and
be
it sounds
great.
like a great movie too.
Oh, see,
Putting a nice
you're
chief
not
actor
you
movie.
are you are.
That's
I
where
said
she's
the
at.
same thing.
Yeah.
I
to
think it would be a
Cheryl.
great movie.
That would be a great
Great
movie
movie.
to
Yes.
play, you know?
Yes,
Because
and
like
You
I
people
never
said-
know
have
down
asked
the
me,
line.
You know, but it takes time to write. You
Yeah.
know, as you know, anything that you do with passion, you love doing it, but you know, at some point you get a little tired maybe, or you have other things taking your attention away. You know, our business is a very important part of my life too, so I have to kind of juggle a lot of
Balance,
different
yeah,
things.
Yeah, it's
you know.
hard. That's why we definitely have to balance it, because otherwise we break our bodies down and what have you.
Exactly, and then your health is important because
Yeah,
as I
yeah.
shared with you, I recently became diabetic. I'm
Right.
about a year now, and even though I'm doing well, I've lost weight. You know, and I'm still struggling with my sugar levels, but
Right,
I'm trying to get under control.
Yeah, you're gonna
and
get
you've
it.
given
Are you
me
diet
Yeah.
controlled or your insulin?
my diet is under
Control.
control, but then I see something sweet and I'm like, I gotta have that. You know, and,
you could
and
so
turn that
Yeah.
around.
And I have
After
to
you
turn
turn
that
it
around.
around.
I have to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm still not there, but I'm working on it.
I just want to get back to one thing in terms of when Cheryl wrote this book. I said to her, I said, you know, it's like African Venus and Venus was lost and now found. But one of the important things was that here was this beautiful sculpture of African Venus that no one never wrote a book about her.
Right, right.
No one said anything about her life. She was
Yeah.
just there,
There,
you know.
yeah.
And for her, for the first time, to be able to write a story about her life and to give her, you know, and I think that this is like introducing something to the world, because a lot
Right.
of people may have not even known about an African
Yeah,
Venus of
yeah.
this particular sculpture.
No, without a doubt.
And that's
Actually,
right.
when we were in Albany, there we went to part of the, I guess, New York State. I'm not exactly sure, but Sojourn. There was a young lady that African slave that there's a study. There's actually a statue, and this is a all white neighborhood with this little black young lady in, you know,
In the middle of
dedicated in the middle of, you know, this little white town. You know what I'm
So
talking.
now, what was her story? That's
You know what? She does have a story, and I didn't get a chance to really get it, but you might be the one that's going to have to reveal.
You know, it's intriguing.
Now you couldn't find any information on her.
Nothing.
There was
Not a
nothing.
thing.
Just a
You know,
statue. Her
the
name.
statue, you know, was all that I had to go on. You know, and like I said on the caption, it just said she was a slave, that she was sent to the island of Guadalupe in the French West Indies and eventually freed. And so that was kind of annoying to me because, I mean, back in those days, maybe they didn't take the time to ask their name and where they were from. But in my world, you know, I want to know, well, what was her name and where was she actually from?
Now, the book that they had,
The artist book
the artist book,
didn't
right?
have her name in it as well.
And
No.
he just did he do it from seeing this lady?
She had to be in his company.
Yeah.
You know, she had to be sitting there, you know, because she was modeling for him.
Right, right.
He had to do certain measurements of her, you know, her face and her body type, and then he had to pour the metal into the mold to produce the piece.
Right, right.
So yes, he had to have encountered her somewhere.
Yeah,
It might not have been, as my story goes, I have her coming out of Africa and going to France, because a lot of people forget that the slavery was a worldwide event.
Right.
And there was slaves going in all different directions. They came to the Americas and they went to Europe. So I have her going to Nice, France, and I have her going to the household in which she will be performing her duties as a kitchen maid, and she's sick.
Right.
So that's where we first kind of find her when she hits European soil, and she's not well. So the owner has to call a doctor and find out what's wrong with her and get her well. And then he's a little angry because he hasn't made any money off of her yet.
Yeah.
And then someone comes up with the idea, well, I have this friend who's Charles Cordier, and he's looking for someone who he's never met, an African woman. She would be a perfect person for him to capture.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
So
that's how
he's in the book.
He's in the book. He's in the book.
Wow.
The doctor that brings her back to help is in the book, and back to health, and of course she's there. And once she models for him, and he captures gets what he needs from her, she's sent to the island of Guadalupe, or Guadeloupe, and then we kind of lose track of her. But her piece goes to something called the Great Exhibition of 1851. And, it's this big hall, and they have all kinds of things from all over the world. It's like a great, showing of all different types of technological things that are going on at that time. We're still talking about 1851 now.
Right, no, definitely.
So there's this big glass structure that is created by a architect, and it's kind of like a wonder of the world. Everybody's coming there to London, and the artist has his collection there, as well as other people. And the Queen of England walks through there, and she sees that bust, and she wants a copy of it for herself.
Wow, that's cool.
And so she purchases it, and and he obliges her, but it becomes very famous.
Right.
And
so this is your story. Your story,
but that's
though.
a true
Or
event.
that's a true
that
event.
happened.
Oh, okay.
See, it's mixed.
Okay.
It's,
So you
it's
have
a
truth,
mixture
right.
of true events,
Okay.
and a little bit of they call it you have to kind of interject some things into it, because at some point that this if she was today, she would be a Naomi Campbell. She would be we would know her name, but back then you did not.
No.
Okay. So while she's down in Guadeloupe, she's being viewed by millions of people, and people are walking by and seeing this sculpture and this collection, and the Queen of England is buying the piece, but she's unbeknownst to this, because she's somewhere else, many, many miles away. The artist himself says, okay, well, I've gotten a lot of recognition for this piece, for my work, and so I think I should do something special for her. I should kind of facilitate her getting her freedom.
Oh, okay.
And so she does. So I can't give away the whole story.
Don't give away the whole. I
Don't
can't wait
give away
to
the whole
read it.
story.
Yeah.
You want people to
Yes,
go to
you have to-
Amazon.com
and buy the book.
Yeah.
or and like I said, it's in paperback form, and it's also as an ebook.
Right.
You can download it right now.
Say the name again.
African Venus, and my name is Cheryl
Yes.
Carcom Lord.
Well, and you have shared this with your young people that you are
I have,
mentoring and what have you?
yes. When I go out to do some events, like book signing events, or we did one a few years ago. Well, maybe when I first came out with the book, we went to a community center in Newburgh, and one of our friends is the director, and I did a presentation there, and a lot of the young people are doing some, developing their writing skills.
Right, right.
And so it's important to keep them doing that kind of thing.
Oh,
Even though, there's a lot of things out there to get their attention, you still need to know how to write, So even if you're writing about your life, or you're writing about your pet dog that, you're creating a story, it's good to use those skills.
Right, right. Well, a lot of kids want to do the music and
That's
and
right.
all that kind of stuff. So that's all interrelated too. They have to realize that they do have
That's
to
right.
have
That's
those
a good
type of
point.
skills.
Oh, yes.
You
That's
know,
a good
so
point.
It's very important.
It's
You know,
very
very important.
A lot of people say, "Mama, I want to sing," but it's the
Right.
people who sing very well, they also write very well. A lot of them
Exactly.
write their own
Exactly.
music, write their own lyrics. So it's an important part of the whole process.
Right, right.
And nowadays, since they are taking out art appreciation
That's
out of
terrible.
schools. They're taking
That
out
is
music
terrible, but I
appreciation
didn't know
out
they
of
were
schools.
Well, I'll
doing
tell
this.
you, I have to say this. If I hadn't had my teacher, and recently, I think I'm going to connect with her again, but I was in seventh grade or eighth grade, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade, and I had art teacher that was my mentor. She really got me through because my parents they were, in the midst
Having
of getting
problems.
divorced and what have you, and I was just not. I was a truant, actually. I stayed out of school over 50-something days.
Really?
I don't know how I graduated, from junior high school to go to high school. And I did not get left back. But I was at 50-something days. But, I didn't want to go to gym, okay? They had the bloomers that, it was horrible. And I was over 200 pounds at that point. So I felt so self-conscious. And she allowed me to go and get excused for going to gym, even though I got a 39 U or something in gym. But I would go in there and I would do murals with her and do artwork and what have you. And it got me to stay out of trouble.
That's right.
It got me to stay
It
out of
channeled your
trouble.
energies
Right.
and your creative abilities.
Exactly,
I mean, it's a
exactly.
very important part of learning, and they say it helps students with math. Music and art help you with math. Your math, developing your math
and
skills.
I'm a scientist at this
Right.
point.
Right.
But see, her
It's-
name was Mrs. Brandon, and I remember her and she went to my high school too, of course, years prior to that. And I know I'm going to reach out to her again, because
Wow.
I recently heard that she lost her daughter. But I know that her spirit.
It's nice that
was
you can still
beautiful.
find her and talk to her.
Right.
Wow.
Well, I haven't spoken to her in years, but I've actually recently ran into somebody by a connection through another friend that we were talking, and then all of a sudden she just brought her up, and it was just
It's a small world.
a universe just bringing.
But talking
You've
about
got it.
that,
Yeah.
I have an aunt and uncle that live in New Jersey, and we go out to their church every so often and visit them and spend an afternoon with them. And we did that one day, and she said, that lady right there, pointing to this woman, lives in Africa. I said, oh, really? I said, and so I walked over to the lady and I spoke to her. And she happens to live in the very country of Benin that I
Really?
set my book in. So I'm in touch with her. So things like that happen for
Yeah,
a reason,
right,
right?
definitely,
There's like a little
definitely.
something going on there.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to travel to
Yeah,
Africa, to
yeah,
Benin,
yeah.
to do more research on my book and to learn
Definitely.
more about that culture. And
Do you really think that she might have came from there? You never know,
it's a
right?
very strong. I mean,
Yeah.
she can come from any of those neighboring countries.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
all.
Right.
There was a lot of upheaval in those areas
Right.
around that time
Right.
because a lot of people were coming into the area wanting to gain control of it. So
So where was he from? Was he from that area, the artist?
the artist was from France.
Yeah,
The artist was from
yeah,
Yeah, he was a
yeah.
Frenchman, French born.
But he liked the different cultures.
He was attracted to the different
Yes,
cultures of
yes.
the world, and if you ever have a chance to go to the library or to Google him, you'll see, that he was very well known for that.
Was he married? Do you know
He
whether
was married. He had children.
Yeah.
And there's a Charles Cordier that's alive today. I don't know if he's related to him.
Really?
Yeah. So-
Before we came on the show, before we did the show, I was reading a little bit about it, and I was like, wow. I wanted to continue reading. It made me want to go and research about him and the
Yes.
book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you guys are also involved in the church community with children with camps. You
Yes,
could tell a little bit
yes.
about that.
The
about
camp
some
that
camps.
we were able to find is located in upstate New York, and it's what's called an environmental camp. So
Environmental.
environmental
You have
camp.
to
I'll expand on
okay.
that.
Please do.
New York
New York State
State
Environmental Camp.
Conservation Camp.
And what it came to Bruce's attention that this camp was available, and he thought about it and he said, well, let's start to do something to send kids to camp. And basically they do camping, they do go hiking, they do archery, They do things of fishing,
Right.
you know, and a lot of urban kids are not exposed
Yeah,
to that.
exactly. So it's basically back in the day, they had, like, I think with the kids, they used to go out to, it was like Camp Minnesink, or I remember my father, I think he was one of those inner city children that was able to be exposed to going to the camps.
Well,
and
you
the
know, I mean,
sleepaway
I
camps
think-
and stuff.
Yeah, we
I
try to reach.
think,
We try to reach the people, the youth in the urban community that would not have the normally have the opportunity to leave the landscape of Yonkers, New York, to go up to this to a camp environment, to be able to know how it's going to be able to survive out there with nature
So
and be exposed.
how long do you
Well,
send
it's
them for?
actually
1 week.
They go for 1 week.
Okay.
And what we've done was we would go out and raise money through the church and the business community, so that
My
the
husband
parents,
actually raised $10,000
the parents would
for
not
that.
be able to have the money to be able to send. So we want to be able to send the children are able to go free.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
because this helps the parent who may not have the disposable income to really, provide that opportunity for their child.
Do you get like aid through the government? and
No.
what have
No,
you?
no.
is
This
through
has
the
been
church.
this has
This
been
is
through
through
the
our
church
church.
and various people in the business community and people that we know, and we've so far we have sent 40 children to camp so far.
Now,
over the
do you
since
go
we've
up with them?
existence.
Or
no,
you have,
no,
you have a
we
group?
send them up.
I would love
in the
to
bus.
be able
My
to
wife
go
has
up
gone
there.
up there every time. And
I ride up
I
with
ride up
them.
there with them. But they have their own process there where they once they process them that you really can't go in to see that facility.
And they don't want
you know.
them to bring any of their electronic
electronics.
devices, no phones, no computer games. They want them to really kind of be in that environment. And
That's
since
really
this is a New York State environmental camp, we can feel comfortable that we're sending them to a good place.
Right, right.
And the instructors really engage them. You know, from the time they get through the registration process, they really, come and will, they have talks and they tell them different things about the camp,
right,
and
right.
and the week flies by like that.
I know.
And when they come back, usually they're saying, "Oh, I want to go back again." You know,
Yeah.
so
Oh, they want to go
We
for
got
2
a-
weeks or 3 weeks.
yeah.
And
Do they have programs that you can expand it?
Well, we would probably,
They-
they have really one of the systems they have is that you go there for the week, but if you wanted to make it 2 weeks, you have to go home. It shuts down for that week, and then you have to go home
And
and then bring
re-register.
and re-register and bring the child back up there.
Oh, okay.
So it's really designed pretty much for 1 week.
Right.
And the way that we were able to get the children is to work in conjunction with the Board of Education.
Well, that's cool. Well, you know what? We're going to discuss a little bit when we come back. So we're going to take a quick break. Okay, we'll be right back.
You know you already want a Toyota, but when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10% discounts on all parts and service, 2 years of complimentary oil changes, 2 years of scheduled maintenance, and more, all at no cost to you, plus low clear-out deals on every Toyota in stock. Get more from your Toyota store. Hurry to Smithtown Toyota.
Shannon Gates is the #1 fence provider on Long Island, with the most inventory in stock, including vinyl, chain link, and aluminum. Gates offers a custom powder-coated system that prevents rust throughout the life of the fence. We carry fence tools to the trade. We even stock wood, rail, and glass hardware as well. Shannon Gates has our very own patented locking system. The next time you need fencing of any sort, both commercial and private, give Shannon Gates a call at 631-392-4330. You can also visit our website at shannongatesinc.com.
You smell so good, I won't have to bathe the next 2 weeks. Anything. So, here, laugh a little harder. All right?
I will take him. I would be proud to show you off, you little old weirdo man.
Get a new sweater. The worst dressed man here tonight. Right? Look, get that laugh, and get it in there tonight because nobody else is gonna laugh like her. She's under drugs, all right?
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Horsehair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm Dee, and we're just like having such a good time, and it's flying as it always does, and just sharing passions and sharing journeys and what have you is just amazing, and hopefully you all just getting some good information, and then we just go from there. So we were talking, okay, and
sending kids to camp.
Yeah, and how we inspire people and children. You have to start young.
Oh,
yeah.
you
don't
do.
Start young.
And one of the things that we require when they come back from camp, we ask them to write a letter to the pastor about their experience. See, here's the writing again.
Right.
So, you know, we get these little funny anecdotes that they put in their letters. I don't have one with me now, but you know, it's a good exercise for them and a good experience.
No, you know, it's like you have to get them to start being formulated early.
Yes.
You know, if they don't, and because there's so much out there, and it's just so scary.
It is scary.
You know, like we got your foods, like I was talking about the primary foods. The primary foods are very essential in order to have these children grow into somebody productive.
And they're eating, the food that the young people are eating nowadays is kind of shocking because it's really filled with sugar. And even one day I was listening to some show that, you know, the Similac is filled with sugar.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're starting them out, and that's...
Well, you know what? Most of the foods, and well, that's the secondary foods, and our secondary foods are scary. Okay, we have to go back to basics. If we don't go back to basics, that's why we have.
If we don't, we're going to really be sick people.
And that's one of the problems today because, you know, the young families, they don't sit down and cook like our parents did. You know?
Well, no.
So they're eating Chinese food.
Parents.
They're eating Chinese food. They eat pizza.
And they're encountering something called food deserts.
Yeah.
Where there's no places where they can buy fresh fruit and vegetables.
Well, the thing is, nutritious food is no longer nutritious. Unfortunately, we're eating empty calories. Even the fresh fruits, fresh fruits and the vegetables and the meats and what have you, they are laced with all these chemicals that if you don't buy organic or there are certain ones that aren't. It's okay to buy. They're called like the dirty 15 or whatever. You can still buy like avocados or pineapples, what have you. Those you wouldn't have to worry about like GMOs and all that kind of stuff. But like grapes, they say do not buy those unless they're organic. Yeah, they have pesticides. They have the GMOs. Apples, do not buy those unless they're organic. Certain things you really need to make sure that you buy.
You know, the other day, I want to mention that you're talking about that day. Last week, I went to the supermarket to buy bananas, and I had the banana, and it tasted like, I didn't tell you the story, it tasted like pesticide. So my girlfriend said, go get me bananas. I said, you know, I don't want to get you the bananas from there because it had a funny taste to it, and I eat them all the time. So I went to another place to get her a banana, and she calls me up. She goes, this banana really tasted like weird, like a chemical. So I think there's something, I don't know.
Putting to make them grow
there's something going on with the banana.
The thing is, a lot of people don't know, and I don't want to get into my passion, but it's all about, and that's how because you all asked, how did I get started with this? And actually I have a girlfriend, she was on my show, and she's like, I want to interview you. And when she was interviewing me, all of a sudden, she said, well, when did you get started? And I was like, oh my gosh, it was a year to the day that she was interviewing me. So it was just
Nice
like,
coincidence.
wow, it was just
Right.
coincidence. But it was all about how my body started changing because I got exposed to different things that were helping my body get back in balance.
Gotcha.
And so when I started getting back in balance, I couldn't help but share it, you know? And so when I got involved with people that were out there in the media and sharing their stories and their passions, and all my friends, actually, I actually asked people, what should I name my show? You know, and because I didn't know, because I don't have that creativity all the time. But they came back and said passion for health, passion for, because they knew my they saw me, who I was.
Right.
They saw you.
And
Yes.
so we
Very
kind of
nice.
went there, you know,
Yes.
so.
And that's how we met. We met at a health
Yeah,
fair,
yeah,
and she
yeah.
said, can you be on my show? This was a Wednesday, and I said, when? She goes, Friday. That's 2 days later. I go, okay. And now
I'm
I've
always
been
the
the
last minute
co-host.
type
of
of
I want to
this.
hear more about your formula that you
Yes.
drink in the morning.
Yes.
You drink.
I do hot water with ginger root. I take to slice that. And then I take different spices, turmeric, cumin, cloves, cayenne pepper, which is very good, cinnamon. You know, sometimes I don't put them all together. Sometimes I'll separate it throughout the day. And sometimes I'll have it with green tea. But if you read all about the spices, if you get a book on all the spices, it will tell you all the benefits, and they're really great benefits.
That's wonderful.
How long have you
I'm
been
gonna try
doing that?
Well, I've been in the fitness field since I was 19, so I used to drink, you know, I used to do all this. I did ginger root, I did green tea. I was there when, like, other people weren't doing it. My friends were out at clubs, and I was making bran muffins and working out at the gym, and I started this when I was younger.
Well,
But
we
I think it
actually
made a
have had
big
some
difference, yeah.
amazing people that are young and still bringing all these type of things because young people are seeing what you need to do.
Yes.
So
Yes.
with you going to the camps, with
Right.
the kids going to the camps or what have you, are they looking at the nutrition? And that's what we have to start looking at, you know, and sharing and making people more aware because these parents don't know. You know,
Yes.
that our foods are
Yes.
not nutritious, and they're like, oh, well, you know, God will take care of us. He can't take care of us if we don't take care of
The
ourselves.
knowledge
That's
is
it.
important.
You know?
That's it.
And that's why we all do this show, because there's people like you both,
Right,
and
right.
Dee and I are so passionate, but we need to have more people like the both of you to help people, and it's all about passion in life and humanity, and
Sure.
that's what we're trying to do, is spread the word.
Well, I
Absolutely.
commend you both for the expertise that you have and as a way of getting that information out to the public
Right.
because this is a sense of education and informing people that, you know, you must be conscious about your health and be conscious about what you're eating, what you're putting into your body.
Well,
And,
mind,
you know,
body,
and body and
spirit.
spirit.
Right.
It all
Very
goes
true.
together,
all
you know?
together.
Very
And
true.
So
see,
therefore-
you all
And to
are,
you all,
are
yes.
bringing that together
Yes,
too. So
yes.
it's all about
Sharing.
awareness.
That's it.
Awareness is so key.
It's key.
Right.
So
now,
how do we
you know?
disseminate that information throughout our
We have to
community?
keep spreading the
Well,
word.
well,
And we're doing this
Things like
now.
this,
And this
and
is
shows
the
like
beginning.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yes.
and you just continue.
Yes.
You know, and you pay it forward.
Yes.
And that's how, you know, when you meet people and you connect.
That's
so
right.
let's try to just
That-
keep that connection.
that's
Even
right.
if you're kind of like, I met a young lady one time in a parking lot, and we exchanged cards and what have you. And then she reached out to me maybe a year later. And we both were like, well, how did we meet? And we really couldn't remember. And ultimately it came. And I said, I met you at a parking lot in Pathmark and blah, blah. And she was into selling her wares. And then she was very impressed with what I was doing. And we just came together. And we're still connected.
Right.
You know, so the thing is, like Cheryl and I, we just connected. We had very similar
Experiences,
backgrounds, and we were same age, and I was like,
Each one teach
yeah,
one.
yeah, and
Each
it's
one
all
teach one.
about just sharing.
Yes.
Sure.
And it is about sharing. And I
Yes.
said I was going to get you on my show.
You did it.
And
Thank
if
you
we
so
could make
much.
a difference, and if
Yeah.
we could make a difference, even saving
Exactly.
a life, you know,
Oh, yes.
saving
Exactly.
one
Oh,
life or
yes.
just getting across. You know, I put up these two hands on my Facebook. It said, pray for the world. I had within an hour 198 shares that people kept sharing it around.
See?
And I really, it just like, that touched my
That
heart
warmed
because
your heart.
it brought people together and it started spreading.
Right.
And it was a
that's-
simple
that's
thing
what-
to do.
It's a
It
simple
was
thing.
really nice.
So it's
Okay.
just helping one, even if we get one person to help or, let's change the world,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I applaud you ladies for
Well,
what
I
you're
applaud
doing
you
and
guys.
the impact that you're making.
Yeah, well, I applaud you guys, what you're
Thank you so
doing with
much.
the
Thank
arts.
you so much.
You have to
I think
continue
that's
doing
great.
it,
Yes.
and it's just, and we're going to have you on again.
Well, thank
because
you.
I see you all doing a lot of things,
Mhm.
and keep on doing it.
Thank you for the
sharing that-
encouragement.
Yes. Keep on doing what you're doing. I know,
Mhm.
your business is thriving, and we all have our little struggles here and there, and what have you. But working with the children and working with the community and sharing yourselves,
Yes.
and sharing your knowledge
Mhm.
and empowering them and empowering those young minds so that they can, because I know with myself, that teacher who helped me.
Oh,
You
that makes a
remember that
difference.
person.
You'll always
and
remember
also
that.
I
Children
had
need
a-
positive role models.
Yes, and
Positive
my,
role
and
models.
my
That's
science
very
teacher
true.
also, my science teacher, Miss Cherry, I remember her too. They both were very influential, and I think they would be very proud of me,
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
after
I had
all
my
these years.
and I had my
you know.
piano teacher at 7, right next door.
Yeah.
I wanted to dance. I used to cry to take me to ballet, but my mother, didn't drive, so I had the piano teacher. But I'm so happy that I took music. I think it's a wonderful thing.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I love the arts. It all comes
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, I know my piano teacher, she actually quit on me, but I was lazy. I didn't want to play.
You
I
didn't
didn't
want
want
to
to
do your drills.
practice.
You didn't want to do your drills.
I didn't want to do my drills at all. But it was kind of. But I always liked dancing. So I did
loved
do
the ballet.
dancing.
As soon as I got in the
So-
car to drive, I was at the dance. I was
Yeah.
at the ballet school.
My mother actually took me to ballerina classes when
Yeah.
I was in, when we younger.
But
so
see, that's
all of it's
yeah,
part of it.
Yeah, it's part of it. And you sending 40 children. Are you going to be doing it for this year too, coming?
Well, this year, not so much this
Not
year.
this season,
pretty
but we're
much
gearing up for
We're gearing
next
up,
year.
beginning to start to raise, more money
Right.
to be able to do that. And
So
they're
how do you
trying to do
raise
a
that money?
conjunction. Well, they're going out to the various businesses and trying to now speak with one of the local colleges because they're going to be running some programs to see if you can do something in conjunction with that with some children.
Okay, well, you know what? Because we're wrapping up right now, what we're going to do is we're going to ask you to give your information so that they can get in contact with you. And then, we will, hopefully contribute to your causes,
Okay.
for sure. And
Okay.
talk
Well,
about your book, talk about all
the way
of it.
to get in. You can visit my website, which is called www.africanvenus.com, and you can see some of my videos. And also, the book is available on Amazon.com, and I'm on Twitter at Lord Cheryl. That's and our telephone number for our business is 914-375-0017, and we're located in Yonkers, New York. And that's one of the ways you can get in touch with us.
Okay, great. And you have any
Final word?
You have a email or address or anything?
Well, you can drop me a line at bkl789@hotmail.com if you're interested in donating money to help a young child have the opportunity to go to camp. We welcome that.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
Well, I thank you again for coming out.
Yes, thank you.
And sharing your passions and giving some knowledge and to some folks to empower them to just make people better. So
thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. Wonderful.
Passion for Life with Dee and Friends.
All right.
Come on out next week, and we're going to have a great time again. Take care. Okay, bye-bye.